Yeah. We put in work and here's the proof. What you want?
I'm making moves, punching in.
I'm on it too.
I'm in the gym.
I'm in the stew.
It's hunting season.
Where's the food?
We push each other daily, level up.
Cause that's what brothers do.
Clock in.
Episode 12, man. Co-host 12. Marshall Hamilton. Look, we're 2 for 11 on introducing ourselves, so gotta get it out the way, man. Marshall Hamilton here.
Austin Hamilton. Yeah, we apologize, man. We've been slipping on that.
We have been.
Hopefully we hold ourselves accountable,
right,
like we do.
Yep.
And we'll correct that. So.
Yeah. Speaking of holding ourselves accountable, we made a promise last episode that we would get something done, man, and we did it. We got it. We got the handshake squared away. I don't know why we just decided to have a handshake. Like,
yeah, we've been playing it with each other since we were like 6.
I know. I don't understand it, but show the people, man.
Let's do it.
We got something for y'all, man.
Simple. 2 times, baby.
2 times, man.
Clock in. Let's get it, man.
See that lock in with the clock in?
Yep.
You feel me? So
the lock in, the clock in.
Facts, man.
Knock your block in.
Like, nah, are you about to give us 4?
Nah.
4 bars?
We good.
4 bar Friday, 4 bar Sunday.
Put a beat on.
Look, if y'all haven't looked at the YouTube, now's the time.
Please.
Y'all need to really check out the YouTube.
You got to see the handshake.
To see the handshake. And my guy Nico, shout out to Nico, Mr. Fooley.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. My man Gruss was here. They put in a lot of hard work, man, into transitioning the audio and everything in the video to a high quality YouTube experience. So check it out. You gotta check it out to see the new handshake. It's been a tough week.
How do you feel, man?
It's been a tough week.
How do you
for
feel,
me, man? It's been a tough week.
How do you feel?
So for those who may be listening to this for the first time, like, you know, the podcast, we do a top 5 poll every now and then. So this was our 6th one.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, we've had different categories like top 5 lunch food items, top 5 what else have we done? Disney Channel movies or something
Channel
like that.
Coaches and movies.
Top 5, fictional movie coaches. And I got out to a good lead. I was up 3-1 in the series.
Mm-hmm.
And Austin called himself LeBron, which was comical to me. So going into this week, I was up 3-2.
It's not so comical anymore.
Going into this week, I was up 3-2. And our category was top 5 90s cartoons. So I do want to clarify, these are cartoons that originated and were started in the 90s, not what was shown in the 90s. So here's how I feel, man. And I gotta get back to my roots, because what I did, I try to be, you know, genuine and have integrity with mine, because I went off shows that I watched like on a regular basis.
Right. And they're all dope shows.
All great shows. So I'll go through my list real quick. I had Recess at number 1.
Oh.
Vince LaSalle should be in the NFL, NBA, and MLB Hall of Fame, first of all.
Oh, man.
So here's my list of sports figures growing up. Kobe, Vince LaSalle.
I'll never forget when they're playing kickball, and he literally kicked it out of the stratosphere.
Out of this earth.
Out of the stratosphere.
Out of the earth. He hit a satellite.
He did.
That's probably why the Russians don't really rock with us, for real. It's all because of Vince LaSalle. But
legend.
He
had the 2 wristbands like Reggie Miller.
The 2 wristbands, the green jersey with the number. The only thing I couldn't get with Vince on is his shape up. His shape up was atrocious. So Steve Harvey, I had to transition to Steve Harvey for that. But this is the whole premise of the show, bro. I was sized, dog, like every recess.
Yeah.
To like recreate that.
Yeah.
I had the red hat like TJ Detweiler. Like that was my show, bro. So for the culture, like it was a diverse group. You know, you had all races, all types of people.
Races,
you had nerds,
you had females in there.
Females, you know, it was really like it was actually a good show. So that's what my number one is.
The movie was lit too.
Movie
we used
was
to watch
tough.
it all the time.
Yeah, movie was definitely tough. Hey Arnold, number 2. Man, that show it taught you a lot of life lessons, low key. First off,
how to keep somebody in the friend zone.
Facts. So it was probably the first show that I've seen where the guy was keeping the female in the friend zone.
Facts.
Actually, I take that back. Urkel used to keep Myra in the friend zone. And
Urkel
Family
did?
Matters. Yeah. Myra was on him hard.
But then they ended up being together though.
I mean, I think like
wait. Myra
the
was
light skin, the light skin one.
Laura.
The light skin one was crazy.
Yeah,
But she was way tougher than Laura. I'm sorry, I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah,
Laura
I was a
tough.
big fan of
Myra was tough.
She passed away too. Rest in
Yeah,
peace.
she had I think cancer or something like that. But yeah, like Hey Arnold was one of the first shows where like the female was the aggressor and he was like, nah, you gotta chill out. I'm not really on you like that. Until the
was
movie.
curving the dude too.
Yeah. Yeah, my man who was
Dude who's always
What was
breathing
that
loud.
dude's name?
yeah, that man had coronavirus the way he was breathing. You know? I'm not even gonna hold you. That
He was
man
a creep too, dog. He'd be hiding in the trash.
He didn't say one word.
The whole pop up and you start breathing. on it.
Yeah, I would have gave him the hands too. He didn't say one word.
That wouldn't fly in 2020.
Nah, I wouldn't. Nah, he'd get arrested for sure. But who else, man? Gerald.
I mean,
Gerald.
okay, that's a really good matchup. Gerald and Vince LaSalle. That's a very good.
Gerald had more swag. Like Gerald overall, like Vince is the type of dude who probably like was awkward outside of sports. You feel me? Like he's all about sports, bro. And then you take him.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not taking Vince to the party with me. I'm taking Gerald to the party.
Yeah, he wasn't. Nah, he wasn't in that lifestyle.
So
Gerald. I don't know, man. That's a good matchup.
Yeah.
That's a really good. That might be our next list, like
characters.
And like sport characters.
Yeah.
Match them up.
Right.
But go ahead.
Yeah, but Hey Arnold, man, a lot I could talk about there. He had the dopest room, first of all. His room was crazy.
He pretty much had like a attic.
He had like a condo. Like he had his own condo. His grandpa let him rock. You know what I'm saying?
He's an OG dog.
My man they used to be on the stoop, cooling. So Hey Arnold was again, man, great one. Dexter's Lab was my third one.
Yeah, that was a great show.
Great show, man. Like it really
so funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious. The fact that it was this dude who, was like 10, 11, who's literally like inventing all these smart things, and he should have been breaded up. First of all, like this man should have had about 1,000 patents. Didi, his sister, was always messing stuff up.
Always.
His mom was.
All right.
Never mind. We're not gonna go there. We gotta keep it.
Man.
We gotta keep it.
Oh man.
Keep it PG.
Oh man. Wait, wrong drop.
Keep it PG. But, I'll just say this is all I'll say. She definitely was raised in the South. She ate a lot of grits and cornbread and whole milk and all types of pork chops, all types of stuff. That's all I'll say.
Mac and cheese.
The real mac and cheese.
What's the fake mac and cheese? We kind of talked. We talked about this a little bit before we hit the record button, and some very valid points and reasonings to determine if mac and cheese is legit or not.
So there's three indicators. All right, the number one indicator: if I can see a noodle on top, like from the top, if I'm looking at it, if I can see a noodle, it's not gonna be good. I already know there's not enough cheese.
Yep.
I should see a crust of cheese that looks like
Did you say eat bread?
It should look like the top of a loaf of bread.
Right, exactly. Were you like? I shouldn't be able to. I should be guessing. Like, is it just all cheese? Or is there actually noodles? Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
Yeah.
That's number one because it's it's gonna be dry if you can see noodles. Number two, if it's in a round dish, if something's in a round dish like that, it's not even mac and cheese. It's casserole to me. That's macaroni casserole with cheese. It has to be in a.
I'm trying to think.
In a
Like,
square.
what do you even put in around it?
Because a round dish is so. Here's the thing. Like, it's so
Pie?
deep.
That's the only
Pie.
thing.
Yeah,
That's the only
yeah.
thing.
Or Chicago pizza.
Right. It's so deep.
True.
That like.
Shout out to Uno.
A large quiche.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like. You know that it's so deep that like mac and cheese should not be like that thick
No.
layers wide.
No.
It should be in a nice like glass or ceramic like
You know, it's flat.
square
Earth
rectangular.
Earth is flat.
Is it? All right, Kyrie.
Flat map.
And then the last indicator is if I take a scoop of it and I'm not fighting the cheese to get it off the spoon, I don't want it. If I take
a tussle.
if
It
I-
has to be a tussle.
It has to be a tussle.
It has to be.
If it takes you less than 2 seconds to scoop it up, that's not good.
No.
You should be
it
wrapping the
back.
spoon
Put it
around. You actually need
You need help.
You need a knife to like cut.
You need help.
Like you're cutting through the jungle type
Yeah.
stuff.
Freaking Tarzan.
Yeah, right. If you now that I think about it, moms, whenever like I'm around my mom and we get the mac and cheese, she's like, "Hold on, I got you now." she's
No, but that's so true
it's true.
though.
She's grabbing. She has
a
another.
mom, an auntie, you know, a grandma. They have to help you.
You need help.
You need help.
That's
man.
why their arms look like that.
You
Yeah,
have
dog.
to, man.
That's another indicator.
What the elbow look like?
Now, whoever
You ain't
serves
got
it
that.
to you, if your arm don't wiggle
Yo.
while she's serving it to you,
She don't got that on.
Yo,
Yo, we're going down.
yo, can we get back to the list?
Yeah,
man?
we're
Can we
going.
get back to the list.
We're going down a different path.
Yo, I can already this is gonna be probably the silliest episode of all time.
Hey, it might be, man.
It has to be after
Pokemon. All right. Here's my thought process
Yeah.
for Pokemon. I got a lot of flack for this one.
Yeah, I didn't like this pick, man.
I watched it. I liked it at that time in my life. Like Pokemon, culture wise, bro, you had people trapping Pokemon cards.
Yeah,
in elementary school,
and they're still
it's still
going.
yeah. So like
the whole card industry is coming back.
yeah, Pokemon Go. You got people walking off cliffs and stuff. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but like the impact that Pokemon had worldwide, to me, was a top. Was it my favorite?
But again, you gotta think about
and I
this.
watched it
These
a
are
lot, bro.
These are shows though. Like
Excuse me.
universally, I don't think the show was, had that impact.
No, we used to wake up every. What I forgot what time it was, like Saturday.
But when you
whatever,
hear the Pokemon show, when you hear Pokemon, do you think card or do you think show? I think cards, and that's where you lose.
All right, I mean, I guess
That's just my opinion.
That's
that show
fair.
went for dumb long though.
Huh?
That show went.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Yeah,
It was a good
yeah,
show.
man.
It's
Like
just,
when Pikachu
I
like
think
became Raichu or whatever, I was a proud moment in my life. When people evolved, bro, like you. Anyways, I'm all right. Anyways, Doug.
I love this
Doug-
pick. I almost put it in because it
Doug
was a
was
personal
number 5.
favorite.
Doug,
But,
I love Doug,
I
man.
gotta be strategic in this.
I love Doug, man. Patty Mayonnaise. He was going smack at Patty for. That was the first cartoon where
Was Doug-
interracial relationships were.
Doug was
actually-
white or light skinned?
He was definitely white.
He was white,
Okay.
man.
Okay.
He was definitely white.
But Patty
Was light skinned.
Yeah,
She
was a
had
little-
some Creole in her. She
yeah,
was a
she
little
was a
Creole.
red bone.
joint.
Was she bait though? Like
She wasn't fire, but for Doug, like that was good for Doug.
Yeah.
Doug, Doug he needed a
There was
stable
only,
joint.
Like one thick joint on that show. It was Kanye.
Right. Yeah, facts.
Yeah,
Skeeter
we're out of control right
Skeeter was I like Skeeter a lot, man.
now. He was a good friend.
Skeeter he was loyal, man.
Good DJ.
Good DJ, yeah, like
He's a skater too, right?
yeah, Skeeter was cool. But Doug was just
He was
just cool,
cool,
calm and collected, man.
smooth.
Like smooth. He had the same outfit. This man had a closet the same. I'm glad he pointed that out though, because every cartoon was like that.
Yeah.
that was the first one where it's like, all right, we're admitting that like these people.
But
were
you have to, because like you draw out the cartoon, right? Like
Right.
that's how it works. I'm not trying to draw out
Yeah, I'm
80
hip.
different outfits.
I'm hip, but it was just funny how like one episode they opened his closet and it was like 17 in the same outfit.
Shout out to
But
Doug.
Doug had a lot of life lessons too, man. So that was my top 5. Again, these are shows that I watched. I feel like this was smart. You really were you were finessing for the culture. Like you knew.
Yeah, I mean,
you knew
got
what
to.
the people
I'm
like.
down.
Rocket Power, bro. I'll let you get into yours. No,
I mean, this is a perfect time, Nico, to cue that LeBron picture when he's got the shades on, the hat. Never come back from a 3-1 deficit. But yeah, you can cue that up, Nick. But yeah, man, number 1, this was obvious to me. The Simpsons. Like,
you didn't really watch The Simpsons like that.
what's your point?
That's what I'm saying, man. I'm trying to be, this is my top 5. But anyways,
That's your problem. The Simpsons, is it still running?
yeah, I think they still have new episodes, right?
They still have new episodes, right?
I think so.
Regardless, I'm sure they've
it's been running for
I'm sure they've
they
broken
stopped.
every type of record.
If they stopped, they'd be like, "Yo, that'd be a huge
Yeah.
event."
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Event.
Yeah.
But regardless, I didn't watch it like that, really because we weren't allowed. Mom didn't they didn't let us
Simpsons
watch
was
it.
wild.
It was wild.
It was Family Guy before Family Guy.
Pretty much. But great show. Obvious number 1 for me. Hey Arnold. That was number 2. I think we both had them at 2. Number 3, Recess. Again, I used to watch that after school
Yeah.
every day.
Like 4:30 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
the movie was dope. Yeah, see, like, I can't wait to bring this stuff back when Ryder gets old enough to, like, sit still and watch TV. He's gonna be hip, man.
Shout out to Disney Plus, man. That was
Yeah, huge.
a power move.
Rocket Power, another one that I didn't really watch like that. But I mean, I got give people what they want, man. I knew that was gonna be a fan favorite. And I think for me, the last pick, number 5, the Magic School Bus.
That killed me.
That was a great pick.
That killed me.
Think about it. Whenever you saw the teacher pop in that VHS in science class, you were lit. Like we've all had that feeling when the teacher.
I was more of an Arthur guy. If we're gonna go down like that category, Arthur.
We didn't show Arthur in school.
I'm just talking about like the educational, like little, like the joints that was on PBS.
Yeah, I get you. But the Magic School Bus, it was entertaining, but also, you learned a lot in it. Especially at that age where like you don't really care about science. Like,
Nah.
you want something that's going to engage you.
Right.
And the Magic School Bus did that for me and a lot of people. It got me through science class. Shout out to Miss Frizzle, man. She was she was a legend.
She was
a legend.
Yeah, she was.
But also like a very
She's a goat.
multicultural show.
Mhm.
From all races.
Yo,
They would go to-
those
What's
are
up?
the kids from Captain Planet.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like, I bet you they kind of took that whole scheme or whatever. But yeah, man, it feels good. Feels good to tie it up, but the work's not done.
Game 7, man.
Game 7's gonna be.
What you think, Dame?
The
It's gonna be a
category
doozy,
has
man.
to be. This category has to be.
And here's the thing:
good
Game
one,
7
man.
might not be for another like month or two.
Yeah, we don't.
It's gotta
know.
be a good category.
Yeah. We really gotta like think about what the people would want. But
Yeah, we'll have to put together a poll or something because
yeah, that's definitely the route.
yeah.
We shouldn't come up with it. We should.
But yeah, regardless, man, another fun one.
Yeah.
And yeah, man.
Interesting thing. Last thing I'll say about like the whole competition or whatever. The 2 shows that killed me were your 4th and 5th ones. The Simpsons didn't kill me at all.
No.
That was your number 1.
No.
Rocket Power and Magic School Bus.
lot
Everyone
of
who
people-
responded were
yeah.
like, "Man,
A lot of people like
the
Rocket
only reason
Power,
why I
dog.
went with Austin is because of Rocket Power or Magic School Bus."
Yeah.
But Rocket Power, it destroyed me, bro.
I'm telling you,
It
it was a
destroyed
good
me.
show, man.
It
You
was.
know, I mean, they had a little wiggity handshake.
Yeah, look,
Um,
Rocket Power was dope. We just like out of Nickelodeon shows, I just wasn't you know, like Hey Arnold was the show.
Yeah.
For us.
It was what was the one that came after Rocket Power? Wild Thornberry. That show was whack.
That show was disgusting. It was awful. It was just absolutely awful. And never mind. I'm not gonna go on another tangent.
Should I?
Nah, yeah. I'm not gonna go Federico today. On Wild Thornberries, but on a sadder note, man. All right, well, you guys hear the fire truck.
Are we gonna leave that in there?
Nah, we spicy today.
Yeah,
Okay.
you might as well let it ride. That's a drop. That's a part of the drop, man.
Yeah,
let
man.
it.
Hopefully, you know,
people are good.
people are safe.
Yeah. But Chadwick Boseman passed away, man. You know, he was one of my favorite actors.
Yeah.
As people.
Yeah.
You know, Hollywood is a wild place, man, and you know, you never know how people really are behind closed doors. He's one of the very few that I could say I think is genuinely like was a great dude.
Yeah.
And you know, he's from South Carolina, which is where
Anderson,
our you know, area where my mom is from.
Went to Howard,
you know, and he really fought to get Felicia Rashad and Denzel Washington's like tutelage and mentorship. I was just doing some research, man. I wanted to read this, you know, because this is kind of the epitome of what it means to like clock in, like as a lifestyle, not just like temporarily or whatever, but to really clock in, man. He got his first starring role in 2013 at age 36. He died at 43. He got cancer 3 years after he got his first starring role. And he filmed at least 4 to 7 movies while he had the cancer diagnosis. While he was
his biggest movies.
His biggest movies.
And some of the most impactful movies that will ever come out.
Right. And he did not let anyone know. Like he didn't do it for he didn't, you know, want pity about it. Like he just clocked in, man, and you could tell he, based on the movies he did. That's another thing, like Marshall, the Thurgood Marshall movie, 42, Black Panther, the other movies. Brown. He's always been a part of movies that actually represented a real life, you know, scenario that made an impact on people. Or Black Panther, I mean, that's one of the most influential movies that'll ever be around inside the Black community and outside the Black community. So it's really sad, man. Like it's kind of tough to say this, but this year's been so crazy that it didn't hit me as hard as it would have last year.
Yeah, because
you know I'm kind of getting numb to like hearing stuff like this. But man, he just wanted to say, you know, prayers to that family, man. You know, I'm going to really try to kind of like what we said with Kobe, man. Learn and really study how he impacted people. And kind of try to carry on that legacy of who he was, man, and the type of spirit he had. So that's all I got to say, man. It's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at an interview he did, and you know, he was, you know, like there's certain people, man, like they almost just don't even seem real. Like there's like an angelic spirit to them. Like, I got a chance to see Maya Angelou speak at Elon. She was one of them. And she like walked by me, and you just, I don't know.
You could feel her.
You could feel it.
You could feel her presence.
I think Kobe had that same impact on people. I think Chadwick Boseman did as well. And you know, listening to the interview, he basically said, and this was the most like powerful thing for me, was like, for all the roles that he, you know, was asked to do, or you know, people were like, we think this would be a great role for you. He said, all right, you know, this could be a great opportunity, but is this something that will embody who I am as a person first? And all those movies that you named off, those were all movies that he felt that, you know, within himself, he could see himself with Jackie Robinson, with Black Panther, Thurgood Marshall. So he was a powerful dude, man. He was a powerful dude. The whole Black Panther thing, like, I saw it twice. It almost, like, I get emotional, like, even thinking about it, because it's like, he's the first black superhero we've ever had.
Yeah.
And to play that, that role with grace, with strength, and dignity, it's amazing.
Yeah, man.
Like I remember, like, I used to work camps. Like, white people would want to be Black Panther.
Oh yeah.
They would imitate his his accent, but, like, not in a condescending, disrespectful way. Like, they wanted to be T'Challa.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Like, I wish, Ryder could see him, more as an actor, my son. But definitely gonna show him Black Panther, because he has to see that.
That movie will have a Lion King effect. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Today, like, kids still watch Lion King because of how powerful the story is. But
and how crazy is the irony that he died on Jackie Robinson Day? Did you know that?
No, I didn't, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
At 43, he died. It would have been even crazier if it was 42, but... he died on Jackie Robinson. You can't tell me God isn't real, man.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that, man.
Like, that stuff just doesn't happen. So I think, he really lived his life. And like you said, man, like, for him to not ever complain, to not, really just worry about his health and personal situation, but he knew what the goal was, and that goal for him, to me, it seemed like, was to make a huge just tsunami of impact on people through his art and acting.
Yep.
And yeah, it's sad, man, because he's just one of those dudes, like, you wish you could just call up and just get advice from.
Yeah,
like
for
Kobe's
sure,
the same way. Like,
yeah.
Hey Kobe, like, what do you think about this? Like, how did you handle this? So yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough to see.
There's very few like him, man, and that's the toughest part for me is, there aren't a lot of Chadwick Bosemans in that industry. He always kept his faith as a priority. That's another thing I kind of read about him.
Yeah. And
that last scene, I got emotional when I saw the last scene of Black Panther when, he went. I don't know what it was. He went back to Oakland.
Back to
where his, where Michael B. Jordan was and grew up, and his uncle, and instead of taking the resources that are in Wakanda and hoarding them, which is what the people in Wakanda wanted to do, because they didn't want the world to really damage their environment, their culture, all of that. He said, "I'm going to give back.
Yeah,
I'm going to give back," and that embodies who he was outside of Black Panther.
Yeah.
And as Black people, I'm just going to speak to the Black community, and this will actually tie into our next topic, which is what's going on with the NBA. Like, let's not hoard that stuff, man. Let's not hoard our resources, our thought process, our connections.
Going back to Maya Angelou, like, one of her quotes that she said, and I wrote it down, I'll never forget it. When you get, you give.
Yep.
And when you learn, you teach. Simple.
And that's one of the reasons why, we wanted to have this platform. Not that we're special and that we have,
but we all have something to give and,
exactly.
and teach. And so it's just, let's do it. Why not?
Use your talent, use your resources, use, whatever influence you have. And that lesson, and I almost got emotional, man, because, it really touched my heart to see him, go put action into serving a community that was struggling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even though it was a movie, you know, and even though Michael B. Jordan was his nemesis, he actually went to where his nemesis grew up and decided, I'm gonna invest into that community to give these kids ability to learn science and technology.
And that's why, like, you know, before the movie came out in theaters, like, people were saying, like, well, Michael B. Jordan, you know, it's the first time you're kind of like a villain. And he would answer, I don't know, like, wait until you guys see it. Because, you know, that's why I love that character of Killmonger. I still think Michael B. Jordan's overrated as an actor, but I won't get into that.
It's either here nor there.
But, you know, he was fighting for his people. And that's why he didn't go about it the right way. You know, he killed people, but, you know, he cared about his people and he wanted to fight for them. And he knew going to Wakanda and becoming, you know, king of Wakanda, he would be able to go back to where he was from and, you know, supply people with the resources and the knowledge. But sorry to interrupt.
Nah, you're good, man. It kind of ties into the NBA discussion. And what I was going to say is, even though, again, it's just a movie, it's an example of how people, whether they're in the NBA or not, can actually act on benefiting and empowering the black community, right? So Draymond Green, he posted on Instagram, I think it was Wednesday or Tuesday, whenever the boycott happened.
Yeah, something like that.
And I want to contrast it to Kyrie Irving's original stance. So it kind of reminds me in a sense of the whole T'Challa versus Killmonger mentality. Not that, you know, I'm picking sides, just they're just different avenues to try to get to the same result.
Yeah.
So here's what Draymond said. But why can sports wait? Because it's a sport? It too is a business, like many other businesses in the world. Why is it that sports can wait, but other businesses should not? If that is the case, why shouldn't the CEO of YouTube boycott Alphabet, or the president of Apple boycott the company? But you say basketball can wait. Is it because sports, in parentheses, the platform has afforded the athletes involved such huge platforms? Or maybe the athletes involved, past and present, actually afforded sports those platforms that the many athletes currently have today? That's neither here nor there. The notion that athletes should just stop working but no one else in the world should stop is baffling to me. Why stop doing the very thing that offers you the biggest platform to speak for those that look like me and a lot of us? To do that is to actually give up the platform to speak for them, because without us using our platforms, which is afforded by the influence of the sport, it actually stops us from echoing what those in the back are saying. Those people then will never truly be heard. Athletes stand with the people, no secret there. But to actually tell athletes to stop doing what provides that platform to speak for the people that need it is actually counterproductive, in my opinion. End quote.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's simple why they, you know, made the right decision in playing, because a young kid, no matter the color, they're not going to be influenced by somebody in DC, but they're going to be influenced by a LeBron or a Cristiano Ronaldo, you know, a Mookie Betts. So it's important for athletes who have the platform to speak out on these things, because at the end of the day, they're human. They go about their lives the same way somebody works a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, they may have different advantages,
right?
But you know, when it comes to what's going on in the world and police brutality, that's going to affect them emotionally, especially when they have the same color.
Right.
So I'm glad they made the decision in playing, man, because what is you not playing gonna do in the bigger picture?
Yeah, what is the ROI? Seriously, like what is it? Because you not playing, is that going to hurt? You may hurt, you know, the owners and the people who own the league who don't look like you, and you're trying to stick it to the man. But like you said, man, and like what Draymond said, it's counterproductive in my opinion, and it goes back to what we talked about probably episode 3 or 4 when it comes to being logical, not just emotional.
Yeah.
Now, here's what I will say. I think the emotional decision to not play that day was big. And I'll speak from my experience with what happened with me. Honestly, this has happened with me since I started working. Multiple times. They needed a mental health break.
Oh, yep.
And I may have talked about this, but if I didn't, I'll just repeat it. So sorry if I'm repeating the same thing. But from 2014 to 2020, I've had to go to work, sit in the office with people who, for the most part, don't look like me, and just go about my day and act like what I saw on TV and what I saw, on social media did not affect me. I would talk about it with a few of my black coworkers, but it sucked to just have to just sit there and act like, business as usual. Mm-hmm. And when the George Floyd thing happened, I was like, mentally, man, like I hit a wall. Like I was just exhausted, bro. I was in a funk, and I could not put my finger on it because I never mentally felt like clouded like that.
I mean, if you watch the video, and you're a human, I don't see how that wouldn't disturb you and put you in that set funk.
Right. But anyways, I don't want to belabor the point. My point is that I get why they just needed to chill out and be like, man, I can't play today. Right? I'm not gonna play today. I'm not in the mental space to do that. And shout out to Adam Silver for he's never guilted the players publicly, at least, for trying to do what they think is right.
No, they would have said something. They would have said there would have been reports on those calls where people were calling out Adam Silver.
Right.
And he talks to those guys personally. If they have a problem, they can reach out to him and he'll respond. So yeah, man, kudos to him. But like you said, I kind of did the same thing. When it happened and other things that happened in my workplace, it was just we need to worry about the people first before business. And I think that's what Adam Silver did, because without the players, there's no product.
Right.
And he made sure that the players were emotionally stable, they're in the right mindset, because majority of the league is black, and it's a heavy weight on those guys, man, because they have children, they have brothers, they have not just men, it happens to women too, and Breonna Taylor. So yeah, it's needed, man. It's important to just take a day of just
day or week or whatever you need.
Because like you said, sometimes you got to clock out in order to clock back in.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Hey guys, thanks for clocking in with us and making it this far into the episode. We want to continue these episodes for as long as possible, but we might need your help. If you click on the description on each episode, you'll find a link that reads Support This Podcast. If you enjoy keeping up with us, click on that link and you can make a monthly donation. All right, you guys hear enough of me talking anyways, so let's get back into the episode.
So I do want to take a look at Kyrie's original stance, right? And here's what I will say, man. If you're going to not play for that reason, then you should be doing what Kyrie's doing. Kyrie actually has put his money where his mouth is, financially and physically, as far as doing things that actually are impacting not just the black community, but the Native American community as well.
His mom is Native?
Yeah, he's she legit she has black in her too.
Yeah.
Like enough to be considered like
Mhm.
blood Native American, to have like the membership or whatever. And they're often forgot about, honestly, that community. But Kyrie, man, he's really taken this time to put things on the forefront with action, man. I had some graphics that I had I think in another note. I don't want to waste time trying to pull it up, but the point is he's done 4 or 5 things throughout this time to back up what he wanted to back up. Mm-hmm. He hasn't been chilling. So and again, there may be other NBA players who are doing stuff.
I'm sure there are.
But yeah, I'm sure there are, and it's actually better if you're not talking about it, in my opinion, because you're not doing it for PR. And I don't think Kyrie is. It's just Kyrie is just a big name dude.
Yeah.
But if the players did actually boycott the rest of the season, my thing is, what is your plan? Going back to the Black Panther example, like, you all have resources, you all have influence. LeBron has built the I Promise School. He's done things like that. That's a tangible thing. That is long term.
His voting initiative.
Like, what are some things that you can create as a league, as a players association, as individual players, as teams in the league, that will have a long term impact. The reality is, donating money is cool, but that money's going to run out eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why, what LeBron's done and what he's doing, and other players who set up academies, they've invested into real estate to keep gentrification from happening, which is a whole nother discussion. Not going to get into that, but like, what's your plan? And after the season, what's your plan? So that in 2025, stuff is still going on.
Yeah.
Like the jerseys with the names and the Black Lives Matter, that's going to fade away.
And it's almost, I mean, there's no better to this, but it's if this didn't happen in season, what would y'all be doing? How would y'all be communicating to people?
Mm-hmm. All right.
So, again, look at it that way. If you guys weren't playing right now, what would you be doing?
Yeah.
Seriously. Are you going to protest? Yeah, that's fine, but what else are you doing?
Yeah, that ends. Now what? And did that actually? And I'm not against protests, but after the protest ends, what long-term effect is that going to have? The reality is, it's not going to have any. It looks good on social media.
No.
You can say you were there, and it's not a bad thing to protest, but like.
And you shouldn't be protesting during a pandemic, but.
Yeah,
I mean
that's a whole nother topic of discussion. But yeah, man. I guess I was proud of how the league, holistically, not ownership, but league front office, players, the player association.
Ownership too. Give them some credit, because I know, like LA, they're opening Staples Center for it to be a voting center. So that doesn't happen. Yeah, that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
without ownership.
Yeah.
And again, it's another actionable, impactful thing that is really going to impact the election.
And hopefully it's consistent. Like, this doesn't just happen this year. Like, open it up every election.
It shouldn't. And I don't want to get on the voting tip, but like, why can I vote for American Idol through my phone with like 2 buttons, but I got to do all this stuff to vote for my president?
It should be pretty, like,
you're a tech guy. Well, like,
it should be pretty easy, right?
I don't understand it.
Would it be the volume of votes?
I can vote for Kelly Clarkson by texting this number, but again, I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get into that.
That could get.
I don't want to get into that
on a whole nother path. Anyway,
is Kelly Clarkson still making music?
She's
like a host.
She's a host of The
Are people
Voice.
voting for her to
She's a host of the Voice.
Yeah, nobody's texting that number to vote for her to make music.
Nah, not even.
What about Ruben Studdard?
It'd be really tough to vote by phone because you have
First of
a
all,
lot of the same things.
Hey,
that
man,
you
that
do
era
with
was
voter
funny,
fraud.
bro.
Right.
Like, I got more than one phone. I got more than one address.
Mhm.
Like tying it back to like one person. Yeah, it's a lot of factors, man. That you have to look
And with
out
Russia, trying to interfere, that probably adds more to it. China too, maybe.
yeah. Plus the network you're on when you submit it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of.
Yeah, I'm not
No, yeah,
I'm not
I know.
a
I don't
conspiracy
know.
theory guy,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I mean,
just-
there's a fact that they did. But I thought this would be interesting to talk about. It kind of speaks to what Draymond was talking about, like as a black employee in corporate America or in any arena, like you can be more blue collar. I saw that like black Nike employees boycotted, right?
NBA,
NBA
employees too.
yeah.
As well.
So like, as a black professional, is that something that is like feasible? Is that something that people should think about doing? Like, and that's kind of speaks to like I think Draymond's point. Like, if they can do it, then like everybody should be able to do it.
Right.
Now, I honestly, I think there should be another category in HR that's kind of close to bereavement. So like when someone passes away,
Mhm.
like you get bereavement, but there should be like a mental health, like PTO type thing, dog. Like,
yeah.
it doesn't have to be specific to black people, but if I'm like, look, man, I need a week. You're not boycotting. You're just saying, look, I'm not gonna work. Like I'm not in the right mental space to work because of what's going on.
Yeah, and I agree because, I mean, you watched The Last Dance.
Yeah.
My guy Dennis Rodman was like, yo, Mike, Phil, I need like 3 days. My guy went to Vegas, partied his butt off, came back and probably had like 45 rebounds in the game. And they went on to win a championship. So sometimes
That can only happen in the 90s.
Facts. But yeah, sometimes you just need time away, man. Like, because you're going to burn yourself out, man. I've seen that too many times. And, whether it's basketball, a kid who, his dad was training him every freaking day. And eventually he just be burnt out and didn't even play in college.
Right.
It's the same in the workplace, man. Like, that's why, I don't know. I tweeted this the other day. I know they do this in Spain, but there needs to be a designated hour or 2 hour gap where everything's closed, no work is being done, and you just rest. They do that in Europe.
Yeah, I believe it.
And there's a reason why, it's just a lot calmer lifestyle over there.
So
like, I've been there, I've seen it, I've experienced it.
Yeah, I know you've been all over, Western Europe. So like, let's talk about how that relates to clocking in though, because clocking in is not just about like
It's not every day, but I gotta clock in.
It's about consistency.
Exactly.
And being focused during that time. It's not about the stereotypical American like I'm a workaholic. That kind of like New York, Northeast mentality.
Fast pace.
Yeah, exactly. I'm working from 7 to 7, and then I'm going home doing work. Like, you're going to be burnt out, and that's going to result in you getting divorced, most likely, or having a terrible marriage and terrible home life.
Unhealthy.
And other things. Like, you need
Unhealthy
everything in
lifestyle.
moderation.
Yeah.
Things in moderation. So when we talk about clocking in as a lifestyle, it's like if you want to be great at something, you're gonna have to put in extra time.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, let's talk about Kobe Bryant's schedule. He would wake up at like 5 a.m, get shots up from like 5:30 to 7:30, go home, eat breakfast, watch some film, go back around like noon.
Take his kids to school.
Take his kids to school. Yep.
He made sure he did that.
Yep.
Like every day.
Every day. Took his kids to school
when he could. Wasn't on the road.
Then he would, I think, go back, watch some film, lift some weights, come back from weights, take a nap. Then, go back, get shots up. Like after, like he would pick up his kids if he could, go to the gym, shoot more, from probably like 5 to 7, and then come home and spend the rest of his time with his family.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever you're trying to accomplish, like, yes, you need to put in the time. He decided he needed to wake up earlier to do that. He would go to sleep. He wasn't a night owl. He wasn't getting like 4 hours of sleep. Like, nah, he'd go to sleep at like 10:30.
Mm-hmm.
Do it all over again.
It's a marathon.
Yeah, man. Like it's a marathon, and overworking can turn a passion into a nightmare very quickly.
Yep.
Very quickly. So yeah, man. Like, let's not misconstrue when we talk about clocking in that it's work, like, or just burn yourself out. Nah, like, clock out, get your head right, get your body right, spirit right, mental right, all that, and then be more refreshed to actually be effective when you clock in the next time. And that's work, that's parenting, that's relationships, working out, like that's all life. Types of stuff. It's life, man. But what I wanted to end with, man, topic wise, is the State of the Union. We talked a little bit about this on episode 1. Unity is greater than division. And this week was a wild week, man, with what happened in Kenosha and with Jacob Blake, but also with Kyle Rittenhouse. I'm not gonna get into like my thoughts on all that. It's not what this is about.
Yeah.
What I do want to talk about is the media, man, with all these different movements, the names of these movements. There's all types of ways to affiliate and align yourself with certain groups of people. And when things like this happen, every group is focused on how can I validate that I'm right, that my opinion is right about whatever the thing is.
My movement is right.
Exactly. They're not looking at the situation objectively, right? And again, this isn't about was it right that it happened or was it... No, this is with anything racial. All lives matter trying to prove this. Blue lives matter trying to prove this. Black lives matter trying to prove this. Whatever y'all are on, like, and what ends up happening is no one is having a conversation and actually trying to get to the solution to fix what's wrong with this nation when it comes to racial issues.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. That's why I don't, and you don't either. That's why I don't subscribe to any of these Black Lives Matter, all whatever, because like you said, it's divisive. It may seem like it's not, but can you tell me who the leader is of these movements?
There is no leader. No, none of these, because they're not even real. They're not. I'm not gonna call it a movement. Honestly, because what Malcolm X had, what Malcolm had, what Marcus Garvey had, W.B. Du Bois, Booker T. Washington, they had clearly defined mission statements, strategies. They had leadership levels. They had systems.
Yep.
Everyone, literally, social media has created what they think is a movement, where really it's unorganized chaos. It's not even organized chaos. It's unorganized chaos.
It's a hashtag.
And what ends up happening is when you're saying whatever matters or whatever, whatever organization it is, what is going to happen is you against whatever movement, y'all aren't open to hearing what that other person has to say. which is why if you get rid of all this stuff, let's have a conversation about
Please.
what actually happened. What are my opinions on it? And instead of saying, "Oh, because you're Blue Lives Matter, you don't care that an unarmed black man got killed." That's not necessarily true.
No.
Because if you say Black Lives Matter, it doesn't mean that you're anti-police. Because you say all lives matter, doesn't mean that you're racist.
Like until give me the leaders of these so-called movements, and let's come to the round table.
Yeah.
Can we do that? Can somebody do that?
It's not possible. There's no organization.
No. So you guys are falling into the lava of chaos.
Yeah.
And it's dangerous. People are dying.
And
People
relationships are being ruined, and with the families, friends, because each movement is taking a part of a story and running with it. They're running with it.
Do your research.
Just think for yourself. Be able to think for yourself.
I say this all the time. Your emotions aren't always true. Don't believe your emotions. Because most of the time, again, we're human, we think emotionally, and we tend to act on it, and that's a problem. But take a day, recollect yourself, and assess the situation, or whatever it is you're putting yourself into. Because, again, similar to like LeBron. LeBron, when the stuff happened, he was like, "Man, I don't want to play anymore." He took a day and maybe a couple days.
He called Obama.
He sought knowledge and someone who, wasn't in that as emotional state as he was, and he came to, I think, the right conclusion to play. Like, he's freaking LeBron James. If LeBron doesn't play, I mean, Patrick Beverly said it. He's like, if LeBron wants to play, we're playing. We're going to the bubble. We're playing.
Right.
It's the same thing. If LeBron was like, "No, I'm not playing," canceled. So, do your research, man.
Like, unaffiliate your mental
Do your
state
research
from political parties, whatever organization. Think, and come to the conclusion that aligns to who you are, but also is the right conclusion. Regardless, if that ends up disagreeing with whatever movement that you affiliate yourself with, then so be it. But the state of the union right now is pretty screwed up.
Yeah.
And a lot of it has to do with the media has sensationalized and radicalized each movement, so everyone is just trying to prove that their movement is the right movement, which is not getting us anywhere. It's actually getting us further. So, on a lighter note, man, wanted to end with something special that we haven't done yet.
Yeah.
That we want to start doing. We started this clock in movement with you and I probably about 10 months ago. So like last fall, it started to pick up steam during the quarantine.
Yeah.
Right. And the person that we want to highlight was one of the first to really get on board with it. So one of the things we're going to start doing is we're going to have a clock in MVP of the week. It's really about, again, not necessarily just working out and all that, but who's been consistent, who's empowering others, who's spreading positivity, who's embodying that type of lifestyle of clocking in. So I'll let you talk about this person because him a lot better.
Yeah, man, my guy Pedro Gowans, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. But I met him in the UK when I was over there in Colchester, England, and he's just a genuine, like, just nice person. I've never once heard him say anything negative. And yeah, he's just one of those guys you just want to be around. So for me to see his growth, on his own journey, and just realize that, like, I somehow helped him is why I am so excited and willing to continue doing this.
Right.
And he's inspiring a lot of people along the way, man. I don't even know if he knows it yet, but I hope he does. I told him, I was like, man, you need to do your own podcast.
For real.
Because he articulates himself well.
Yeah.
He's motivating. So yeah, man, I'm proud. I'm honored to be, his friend. And one day, we'll meet again, man. And yeah, it's special. It really is. I think he's lost between 15 to 20 pounds, maybe even more than that. And if you were to tell me when I met him back in 2017 that he's now just kind of like a workout guru, I think he's even eating vegan now.
Yeah, he's been.
And yeah, if you were to
really
tell
on
me
that nutrition.
yeah, if you were to tell me that 2 years ago, I'd be like, no way, man. But yeah, man, it's just special that people are really just changing their lives, their lifestyles, and inspiring and changing people along the way, because that's what it's about.
Yeah.
We're trying to push this whole society forward. And yeah, man, we'll continue to do it. And, there's more people that have been clocking in and we'll highlight.
Yeah, for sure.
But he was a special one and really stuck out. So big shout out to you, Ped. There's a drinking game we used to play. I forget what it's called, but the game is terrible. I would never play it again. But he's one of those dudes where he'll just force you to play it.
Right.
And but yeah, man, maybe one day we'll play that game, and we'll meet again. So big shout out to you, Pat. Round of applause, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Once again, man, always a pleasure doing this with you. Episode 12, man. We've been consistent, and people I think are really getting value from it. Big shout out to Nico, man.
That's crazy.
Mr. Foley, holla at him.
Eric.
Grussel, my man Eric, holla at him. Shout out to the goods, man.
Good.
Shout out to the goods, man.
Good.
We about to clock in, add value to these kids, man. Shout out to Walt, B-Ham, the fan, man. So clock in this week, everybody. Be the best version of you, so y'all can be the goods. Let's get it. Clock in.
Get it. Mic check with it. Sick with it. No hand one. I'm here for fun.
Yeah.
hand. Here with me.
Yeah.
Pound in. Russ on the beat. Come on, man. Y'all not ready, man. Y'all not ready.
Not ready for that, man.
Clock in. Let's get it, man. Turn me up a little bit.
Put in work and here's the proof. What you want?
I'm making moves, punching in.
I'm on it too.
I'm in the gym.
I'm in the stew.
It's hunting season.
Where's the food?
We push each other daily, level up.
Cause that's what brothers do.
Clock in.